Okay, very nice to meet everybody, and I'm so thankful that you're investing your time with me today. My goal is very simple.
Recording
By
in
the
progress.
by the time we're done today, and we're going to go fairly quickly, I'm going to cover probably 2 hours worth of information in maybe 35 minutes. And so you're glad you're here. At the very end, I'm just going to tell you exactly what it is our call to action is going to be. And that action is going to be, wow, thank you for all of the information. I had no idea that anything that you're going to talk about today was even a thing. And I am going to apply for the thing that we're talking about. Tonight, we are bringing to you live a presentation that is really absolutely amazing. And the reason that we're even talking about it is the simple fact that on July 4th of 2025, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, made a radical transformation to America. And that transformation was called the One Big Beautiful Bill. And there's some provisions in the One Big Beautiful Bill that impact small, medium, and large businesses all across America. So Jeremy, whenever you're ready to share that screen, that would be terrific. Tonight, we're going to be talking about what is called research and development tax credits. Many of you have never even heard of what we call R&D. R&D tax credits is a concept that the president has pushed out in order to allow businesses to be competitive on a international scale. On July 4th of 2025, President Trump signed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which reversed some previous legislation that was implemented under the Biden administration. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So first and foremost, let me just tell you what we're going to talk about today. Out of the last 100 certified public accountants that I've talked to, I have really met one and one only that was an expert on the subject that we're going to discuss today. The other 99 CPAs had no idea what it was. They had no idea how to apply for it. They had not done any of this work for any of their clients, and they left hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions of dollars on the table for their clients. And so we're here to totally change all of that by helping businesses put their hands on working capital that you already have earned and that you already deserve, but you just didn't know how to go about claiming it. Now, some great news. Number one, there's no cost at all to see if you qualify for this renewable tax credit. What does the word renewable mean? It means that because the Big Beautiful Bill passed, this now occurs every single year going forward. And here's the bombshell. I'm giving you the bombshells right up front. Bombshell number one is that you have a 1-year opportunity window, and it opened on July 4th on Independence Day, 2025, and the opportunity window slams shut on July 4th, 2026. And so you have a 1-year opportunity window to go backwards in time to get the money that you qualified for last year, the year before that, and the year before that. So what we're going to talk about today is very, very powerful. And the first thing about it is the fact that we can do what is called 3-year retroactive credit filings. Now, big picture, what's R&D? It really automatically, because of the name, makes you think about people in white lab coats, right? that are doing cutting edge science or splitting atoms or coming up with brand new things in a laboratory. But that's really not the case. The research and development tax credit is for any business that produces any new process or product or improves that. Now, we have invited tonight lots and lots of farmers and vintners and winemakers from across the country. And a lot of you brewers that manufacture beer, you snuck in too. And so those are the three primary industries that we're talking to this evening. And I'm here to tell you that we have cases that we have done for farmers all over Missouri, California, Nebraska, Ohio, and we have worked with winemakers primarily in California, but all across the United States. And these brewers are absolutely everywhere. The beer makers and the grolsch manufacturers across America, none of them ever realized it, but every single one of these industries is performing research and development actions and activities in their business that qualify them for this credit. Now, this can be very, very complex and nuanced, but we're going to try to make it really easy for you tonight. And so, Jeremy, if you'd click the next screen there, we're going to go through this whole process. What we're talking about, you guys, is nothing new. Under the Ronald Reagan administration is when it very first came to market in 1981. And all the way through 2020, this has continued annually. Go ahead and click the next screen, Jeremy. And in 2022, I'm here to tell you that the Biden administration massively changed the laws. And the law that they changed, which under the Trump administration, they changed it back. The Biden administration said, hey, we're going to take all of these eligible expenses that you businesses have incurred for your company, and we're going to require you under Section 174 of the Internal Revenue Code, we're going to require you to take all of these expenses associated with your development costs, and we're going to require you to spread it out over a 6-year period. And what that did was really put the American farmer and the vintner in a position of tremendous risk. The Trump administration came back on July 4th, 2025 and said, we're changing it. We're getting rid of this 6-year amortization provision. And not only are we going to allow farmers, vintners, and brewers going forward every single year to take full expensing for their activities, but we're also going to let them go back all the way to calendar year 2022 and get all of the money that they left on the table. Now, let me tell you, the research and development tax credit has up to $100 billion, $100 billion that's allocated by Congress annually to reimburse businesses for their R&D expenses and activities. However, because this is such a little known credit, and because CPAs typically are not trained of the thousands of tax credits available to them, they don't know how to do it. And we're going to show you our entire process tonight. So most companies are just flat out leaving big, big dollars on the table. Jeremy, go ahead. This is the very first time I've done a presentation, by the way, where I'm not in control of clicking my own screen. And so my buddy Jeremy is pushing the buttons for me. Anyway, this is a visual representation of what most people think of when they see R&D or when they hear of R&D. And I'm just here to tell you, it's the furthest thing in the world from the truth, Jeremy. And so all of the different industries that qualify are really in the business of making either products or improving a process. And it could be the way that we harvest grapes. It could be the way that we harvest crops. It could be the way we modify soils. It could be new and improved or improving methodologies of irrigation on farms. It could be the way we are attempting to increase the Brix or the sugar level inside of our grapes based upon the sun rotation or our fertilizer techniques, or coming up with brand new fertilizer blends, or rotating crops in order to qualify. Every single thing that farmers, vintners, and brewers do in order to produce a good finished product, which is ultimately for farming, it's about increasing crop yield. In the grape growing industry, it's all about increasing really the sugar level in your grapes and maximizing yield on your harvest. And sometimes we're inventing, sometimes we're creating new formulas, sometimes we're creating new software to be able to track the way these things are being done, and sometimes it's just a technique. Now, let me share with you a great secret. This is one of the ultimate secrets to R&D. What you're doing to try to improve your business does not need to work. You can fail, and you can fail miserably through experimentation, and you can still qualify for a significant research and development tax credits. But businesses rarely make their products the exact same. And if your business does any kind of process to make your process cleaner, greener, quicker, cheaper, you can qualify for the credit. Jeremy? So what qualifies? Isn't it only for big tech? Isn't it only for science? No, it's not. What are the benefits of a credit versus a deduction? And can I use both? Let me just read this paragraph to you because it's a big deal. The research and development tax credit is an actual dollar for dollar credit against taxes owed or paid that go directly to the bottom line versus a deduction that lowers the dollar amount being paid. Both are very, very valuable. There's no doubt about it. And both are very good news. But the credit allows you to use actually both. Now, can I claim R&D credits only in the current year? Like I said, no. We get to go backwards, but we have a limited one-year opportunity. And this is why our partnership, like with Helene Weiner, who's part of multiple farm bureaus across America, and many of you have received those newsletters and have joined us today to learn about this process. This is why we have a research and development awareness month, to be able to educate people about this limited opportunity window for you to take advantage of this. Jeremy? So again, market research, claiming the credit for wine, beer, or spirits. We're going to show you exactly how you qualify, Jeremy. This is, again, specific to the spirits and brewery industry. Go on. By the way, there's a lot of industries. Go past this slide. I want to get to this big list. This is smart right here. So we have seen all kinds of things in agriculture that work. Again, crop rotations, soil engineering, pest control, herbicide customization, sometimes taking an herbicide that you tried last year and making a slight modification to it, and then expensing that over the people that had to apply it, the cost of the materials applying, or how you're doing your computing and you're computing on your crop analysis or modifying climate conditions, greenhousing. By the way, this is even applicable to those involved in ranching when it comes to livestock monitoring, And so the reason I'm giving you all these examples, Jeremy, go to the next screen, is because all of you also know somebody that qualifies that has not applied. And so we're here to help you be able to make giant impacts, not only for your own business, but for those friends of yours that also own businesses. And the types of industries that almost always qualify: manufacturing, construction, engineering, agriculture, architecture, software and technology. So ag and farming, almost 100%. Anybody in beverage, healthcare, services, manufacturing, believe it or not, almost all forms of construction, except for the one thing that doesn't involve a lot of R&D is row houses or doing subdivisions where it's just, cut, copy, repeat, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. But energy and resource management, metalworking, technology, transportation, all of these types of industries are the types of industries that qualify. I'm here to tell you that some of our biggest clients are candidly, they're in agriculture and farming. We have helped so many clients get back literally hundreds of thousands of dollars from the United States Treasury by filing amended tax returns and claiming the research and development credits that they did not know that they could get by them receiving that money back. And here's the good news. Oftentimes, this comes back to you in the form of a physical check. And it doesn't take that long for the IRS to actually process this. Now, by the way, if your credit is larger than the taxes actually incurred, whether it be on income or payroll, the federal government will actually issue a credit to you. And hear me clearly now, this is important. That credit can be used upwards to 20 years to offset future tax liabilities. We have so many clients that are blown away by that, where they end up getting a paper check in the mail for hundreds of thousands, $500,000, $1 million from the Fed, but they also have a $3, $4, $5, $7 million credit going forward that they can apply to future tax liabilities. It's a very big deal. So the two things that everybody asks me all of the time is, actually there's like three things. Number one, hey, sounds too good to be true. Number two is, oh my gosh, it sounds really expensive. How much does it cost? And number three is always, how come my CPA didn't tell me about this? These are the three things that we hear over and over and over. And we're going to address all three of those questions going forward. Jeremy? Thank you. So again, like I mentioned, these are the types of industries that we're expert. And if you look at the results here, right, a manufacturer, $1 million in federal and state tax refund, actual check, refund, 5 million, 1.3, 310,000, 500,000, $250,000, $2.5 million in state and federal refunds. Now, by the way, what's crazy is 34 out of our 50 great states also have a state tax credit. By the way, again, nuanced, challenging, difficult to even be able to figure out every single person's individual state tax credit that goes on top of the federal tax credit. And that's what we're here for. So we are absolute experts on this subject. Jeremy? This is great. So what part of your expenses are eligible to actually get you into the credit? Well, it's money that you spent on your staff, on your wages, for people that do certain activities that are what we consider research and development costs. And it's amazing when a business owner actually stops to consider, and I'll show you how we're going to help you with this process, identifying what percentage of their output or their wages are associated with R&D. Particularly in ag and vintners and wineries and breweries, it's pretty easy and straightforward on our part. But the software applications, whether it's the light or heating or power, external workers, contractors that you have hired to help you solve technological issues in your practice, even volunteers, third-party payments to vendors, and research contributions, Jeremy. All of these things are eligible costs. And so our efforts really using some superior software help build what is called an R&D study, also called a justification report. And this report is something that gets filed to the IRS. And so what we're looking at is in your business and using both our expertise and artificial intelligence and an interview with you, the business owner, and a software package that cost millions of dollars to actually create, gives us the ability to build a quantitative analysis for your company to file, to provide to your CPA, which will actually file this study along with all amended returns. And so we're looking for areas that improve a product or process that is technological in nature. That's a very, very broad category. And believe it or not, everything in agriculture is all technological. Everything in growing anything is all technological in nature. And by the way, one of the goals of our efforts in business is to eliminate uncertainty in the process. And the uncertainty, by the way, this is what I mentioned earlier, you don't have to succeed. And a lot of us have spent a lot of money over the years trying different things to make things better, cheaper, better, faster, greener, quicker, cleaner, and we have failed in the process. Well, guess what? Those failures still qualify us for R&D. And so the expenditures generally include the design, the development or improvement of any kind of product, process, invention, technique, formula, or software. And so we'll help you extract that data to be able to build that study. Jeremy? Thank you. Actually, I'm going to come back to this. Let's skip and go to the next one because I really want to get into this guy. This is Senator Grassley. He is a Republican senator, as you know, and I think he sits on the House. No, not the House. Anyway, this guy's smart. He's the guy that helps make our rules. He's the guy that promoted in the United States Senate the passage of the big, beautiful bill. And he says that he's always believed that the United States tax code should encourage the success of small and medium businesses and for creating jobs for small and medium-sized businesses because they are the economic engine of our economy. Jeremy? But here's what worries me, is that many of you here, the business owners, and your accountants, you too often think that these tax incentives that just happen to be for big corporations. And I want to impress upon you that nothing could be further from the truth. Jeremy? Too often, small and medium-sized businesses, they're just simply not taking advantage of the research and development and many other incentives. A comedian once said that 90% of life is just showing up, and the same is true with tax for small and medium-sized business. So you need to show up. And so let's pause for a second and let's just be very specific. What does showing up mean? It means you have to apply. How do you apply? Well, the minute we're done, you're going to end up with a magical little email in your system. One of the beauties of what we just did tonight is we invited you here by having you register. By registering, you gave us your name and your email address. So as we draw to a close tonight, you're going to get an email, and I'm going to tell you now, please check your spam just in case, but you're going to get an email with an application link. That application link is the qualification to begin the process. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about our process and the cost involved. First of all, I'm going to give you something very, very special tonight. And I want you to be enthusiastic about it, and I want you to say thanks. So we have always found that by helping as many people as we can in order to get what they want, will also help us get what we want. So tonight, I'm here to tell you, there is no application fee, none, zero. We will actually take you through a complete qualification process and do 100% of the work for you up front. And there is absolutely no out-of-pocket expense in order to go through that qualification. Here's the catch. The catch is at the end, when you qualify, we're going to do a split we're going to do performance-based compensation and a success fee of an 80-20 split. You keep 80, we keep 20. We'll do 100% of the work and we'll produce your end result for you. And we are waiving all forms of qualifying and application fee for all attendees tonight. Jeremy, click the screen. Let's go on. Did you know that tons of companies, but sadly, they're all the big ones, have avoided paying literally billions of dollars of taxes? You know, and some of the biggest companies that are out there, like Nike, Amazon, FedEx, they pay very little tax. And the reason why is because they've got brilliant tax attorneys, brilliant CPAs that full time, all they do is look through the tens upon tens of thousands of pages inside our tax code in order to take advantage of every single dollar that's available to them. And so it says right there, because they got teams of smart lawyers and experienced accountants helping them navigate all the rules. Well, that's the partnership that we want to be in with you. We want to start our process by looking back for the last 3 years and getting you every dime that you did not qualify. Once we knock your socks off with the results, we want to help you with your 2025 tax filing that's going to be due in April-ish of 2026. And we want to help you every single year going forward. And most importantly, for your referrals, we want to waive all application fees up front. Our goal over the next 1 year is to be able to educate as many businesses as possible across America to help them get every dollar that them and their CPAs have left on the table only because they didn't know, Jeremy. And we're fixing that in America. The rules, like I said, are complex and nuanced, and correctly claiming this is way beyond the skills of almost all tax professionals who serve small business owners, right? Their job is get in, calculate your return, give you your tax liability, and you're out of there. And so if you think your company may qualify for this, and it could be a good idea to work with a company that specializes like taxprepadvocates.com and qualifying companies and determining the qualifying expenses, we will also work with your CPA. So when our net result is done, we'll present our findings to you and to your CPA concurrently, and we'll also help and educate them. When it's all said and done, I'm here to tell you that from my experience, in my opinion, 99% of farmers' CPAs, even after we show them how to do it, they still won't be able to do it because of what is called the substantiation report at the end that we produce for you. Jeremy? I love this. What are the benefits? Hidden, an immediate source of cash. You know who's hurting in America today? Farmers. It's our ag industry. It is. There's so many situations that I've come across where a big giant windfall of cash would absolutely help you in payroll, in acquiring equipment, and being able to invest back in your business, getting the dollars that were left on the table. Oh, you know what else this does? This absolutely increases the market value of your company because of the earnings, the power, and the cash flow of your business. This will also help you lower your company's effective tax rate on a last year, year before, this year, and next year basis by whatever you didn't get in the form of cash to be able to carry it forward. It also creates a significant reduction to current and future federal and state liabilities, and this is a permanent, ongoing, annual savings for financial benefits to your company. So again, we're just trying to help companies get their piece of the 100 billion in credits that's available. And what's scary is how few companies are taking advantage of this. It's less than a third of small businesses are even applying. Now, The way we do this is through a multi-million-dollar proprietary automated software program. And once it's complete, I'm going to have to change this because of the popularity and because of the big, beautiful bill. We can no longer produce results within an hour. So let me make an edit right here, and I'm going to ask my team to tweak that. This results in an hour is now results in about 2 or 3 days, which is how long it takes us to produce an actual study. This study, y'all, is about 56 pages. So this is what we call a qualitative analysis. It will define right to the penny exactly what your company will get back in the form of a state and a individualized federal tax credit. You will get one study per year. It again is about between, depending on the size of your firm, between 35, I think the biggest study I've seen to date is around 70 pages. I'm here to tell you, the longer the study, the more money that you're going to get back. There's a direct correlation between the amount of work involved in producing this document and the credits that come back at the end. Jeremy? This study is ultimately created by us, and our goal is to be your long-term professional partnership on this particular concept. Now, by the way, we already know we're going to blow your mind. We already know we're going to help you a lot. We already know we're going to give you the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you didn't even know you were eligible for. And that is just the beginning. So as financial consultants, our job is to help you make some great decisions about that also. We want to toss you some ideas on how to eliminate debt, how to build personal wealth with that. It's completely optional. Our job is just to share with you some good ideas. By the way, another program that we have will help you reduce your FICA tax, your ongoing FICA tax liability with all of your employees without increasing your expenses at all and giving your employees additional benefits that they did not have previously. So our team of attorneys, CPAs, and product providers really are specialists in producing stronger relationships, more services, ultimately resulting in more money for your business. Again, our whole thing is helping people get what they want, and we only work on performance basis. And we're teaming up with the businesses across America to take advantage of that by helping them claim this credit that you rightfully deserve. Jeremy? I'm proud of this. We have a grand total, and our team of CPAs and tax attorneys have helped over 1,800 companies claim millions of dollars in R&D credits. We've leveraged over 350 collective years of experience across a nation of a team of more than 50 R&D tax credit experts to ensure precision while eliminating uncertainties from tax preparation. We've taken all of the guesswork out of this, and we've made it more accessible to companies everywhere. And in that process, I'm very tickled to tell you that we're going to increase our numbers dramatically by serving your business and your entrepreneur friends that you're going to refer to us. Jeremy? This is the very last slide of our presentation. Allow me to impress upon you 2 or 3 major takeaways. Number one, in the next 1 or 2 minutes, you're going to receive an email. Please check your spam folder. Jeremy, who's pushing the button for me in the background, is also the guy that's going to send the email on my behalf. That email, and you can stop screen sharing now, Jeremy, and maybe just highlight my ugly mug as I do my closing few minutes. I'm very, very excited to be able to serve. I'm very excited to be able to get with you, to be able to answer your individual questions. The application that is coming to you via email is nothing more than a Q&A sheet and what we call FAQs. So it has all of the frequently asked questions that our clients always ask us. And they're things like, is your work guaranteed? And the answer is yes. We will guarantee our results to you with absolute precision in the numbers. The next thing I'm always asked, and you can read about this, what if I get audited? I'm afraid that I might get audited by the IRS. Well, I'm here to tell you that has happened. But listen to the statistics. 98.5% of our filed research and development tax credit clients do not get an audit. Of the 1.5% that do, I'm here to tell you that over 83% of them that allowed us to represent them in the audit was tossed, and the IRS said, thank you very much for clarifying. We have no further questions for you. Proceed as is, and we're going to process your claim as filed. In the microscopic time that there was a modification, it was always due to a significant exaggeration by our client, unbeknownst to us. And so we're going to encourage truthfulness across the board. And, this is dealing with your taxes. So we're going to do everything right every single time. So audits are the least of my concerns. The very next question is always, why didn't my CPA tell me? And I'm apologizing on behalf of your CPA. They don't know how to do a 60-page qualitative analysis and produce all of the required tax forms. And we are happy to educate you and your CPA along in the process, because we're going to do the work and produce all the amended returns, produce them to you. They'll be filed by your CPA. There's only compensation to us upon the successful implementation of our plans. Any other questions that are typically asked is, hey, if I do go forward with this R&D study after you've produced my results, do I have to pay it all up front, or can I pay you over time? And the answer is, you pay us over time. It's an 80-20 success fee if you pay us up front. It's a 75-25 success fee if you pay us over time. And that's fine too. We'll carry you over the course of a year. And again, we also, and here's the very last thing that I'll close with, if you want to also be more than just a referral partner, you could actually work with our company as well. Believe it or not, we actually have R&D tax credit study clients who they have way more friends than they have success in their own business. And so out of the success fee, we have a percentage of that. It's very competitive that is shared with our referral partners. If you'd like to become a referral partner of ours, we're going to put that on the table for you as well. It's not for everybody, but it's for those of you. And we have found this just to be the ultimate method of marketing. Just like if you see a movie or enjoy a fantastic meal out at a restaurant, tell your friends. We want you to have a great experience with us. We want you to be able to get hundreds of thousands back. We want you to be able to brag to your friends about what happened. And we want you to be able to take our technology platform and invite others to utilize it in order to claim the funds that they have not yet received. And so right now, I'm going to say, go jump into your email inbox. There is an invitation awaiting you. The invitation is replicated to the person that invited you to our webinar this evening. You can read all about us at taxprepadvocates.com, and I would encourage you to take action. Like I said, this is a limited opportunity window that is flung wide open. The only thing that we ask is, once we begin the work with your firm, that we conclude our work within 10 days. And so this is a collaboration, and I have my team on standby ready to be able to help. So as soon as you apply online, the very first thing that it does is just allow you to schedule a Zoom meeting just like we're on now, but it'll be one-on-one. You can invite your CPA to that as well. They're certainly invited to the entire process, and we'll go through a more specific, customized explanation for you and your company, and then open up our portal to be able to do our customized proposal for you.